Our planet is in flux, temperatures are rising, weather patterns are shifting, and the consequences are becoming increasingly apparent. From melting glaciers to more frequent extreme weather events, climate change is impacting every corner of our world. The primary driver of this change is the increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, primarily from human activities like burning fossil fuels. These gases trap heat, causing the Earth's temperature to rise, much like a greenhouse. This warming has profound implications for our planet and its inhabitants, disrupting ecosystems, threatening biodiversity, and impacting human societies. The urgency to address climate change has never been greater, and it requires a multifaceted approach. We must act now to protect our planet for future generations. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now. Addressing climate change requires a two-pronged approach: mitigation and adaptation. Think of them as two sides of the same coin, both essential for a comprehensive solution. Mitigation focuses on reducing the severity of climate change by addressing its root cause, greenhouse gas emissions. It's akin to turning down the heat on a stove. Adaptation, on the other hand, involves adjusting to the changes that are already happening and preparing for future impacts. It's like putting on a coat when it's cold outside. Both mitigation and adaptation are crucial for navigating the challenges of a changing climate. They are complementary strategies that work in tandem to protect our planet and secure a sustainable future. Mitigation efforts are underway globally, with a focus on transitioning to cleaner energy sources. Solar and wind power are rapidly expanding, providing renewable alternatives to fossil fuels. Energy efficiency is another crucial aspect of mitigation. From energy-saving appliances to better building insulation, reducing energy consumption directly translates to lower emissions. Furthermore, protecting and restoring forests is vital, as trees act as carbon sinks, absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Sustainable land management practices also play a role in mitigating climate change.
These efforts demonstrate that we have the tools and technologies to reduce emissions and mitigate the severity of climate change. The key lies in accelerating these efforts and transitioning to a low-carbon future.
Adaptation measures are equally important for coping with the impacts of climate change that are already being felt. Coastal communities are implementing early warning systems for storms and sea level rise.
Farmers are adapting to changing weather patterns by adopting drought-resistant crops and water conservation techniques. Cities are incorporating green spaces and cool roofs to combat urban heat islands.
These examples highlight the ingenuity and resilience of communities around the world in adapting to a changing climate. While adaptation is not a substitute for mitigation, it is a vital component of building resilience and safeguarding our future. Section 5. The power of combined efforts. Mitigation and adaptation are most effective when implemented together.
By reducing emissions and building resilience, we can create a more sustainable and equitable future. For instance, investing in renewable energy not only reduces emissions, but also creates jobs and reduces air pollution. Similarly, restoring coastal ecosystems not only protects communities from storms, but also enhances biodiversity.
The interconnected nature of these challenges requires integrated solutions that address both the causes and consequences of climate change. Working together, we can create a more resilient and sustainable future for all. Section 6. Everyday heroes, actions for a cooler future. Every individual has a role to play in addressing climate change.
Simple actions can make a difference when adopted by millions. Reducing energy consumption at home by using energy-efficient appliances and reducing water usage can make a tangible impact. Choosing sustainable transportation options, such as walking, cycling, or using public transport, reduces emissions from vehicles. Supporting businesses that prioritize sustainability and advocating for policy changes are also impactful actions.
By making conscious choices in our daily lives, we can collectively contribute to a more sustainable future. Remember, even small actions can have a ripple effect when adopted by many. Section 7. A race we can win. The challenge of climate change can feel daunting, but it's important to remember that it is a race we can win. The future is not yet written. Our actions today will determine the course we chart.
We possess the knowledge, the tools, and the collective will to address this global challenge. What's required is a shared sense of urgency and a commitment to act decisively. History is replete with examples of humanity overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. The fight against climate change is no different. With determination and collaboration, we can create a future where both humanity and nature thrive.
Section 8. A shared responsibility. The responsibility to address climate change falls on all of us. Governments, businesses, communities and individuals all have a role to play. International cooperation is paramount as climate change knows no borders. Developed nations have a responsibility to assist developing countries in their mitigation and adaptation efforts. Sharing technologies, providing financial support, and fostering capacity building are essential for a global response. Ultimately, addressing climate change is about safeguarding our planet for future generations. It's about ensuring a world where all beings can thrive, not merely survive. It's a challenge that demands our immediate attention and unwavering commitment. Let us rise to the occasion and create a future worthy of our children and grandchildren.